hadde bodd overnaturlige vesen side om side med det skandinaviske folk. De kan ikke merke seg menneskelige sanser om ikke de velger det selv. Usynlige har de hjulpet på gårder, hjulpet søyer på villspor å finne veien hjem, gitt assistanse ved kalving, ved harde vintre eller ved skogbranner. I retur har de fått noe av gårdens korn og melk. Vesen har fylt engene med blomster, vist mennesker veien til bortgjemte vann som kan vise dem glimt av fremtiden, og hvisket drømmer inn i ørene til dem som sover.
Hello and welcome back to another episode of Vaesen, a Nordic horror role-playing game. While the last player is fixing her bun, we'll go around and do quick intros. And then I've been warned a snarky recap. And then straight into the episode with the not at all ominous, but definitely apt title, Purge. Why don't we start with Eva, while Wilde and other people change their names in the Zoom call? I'm calling you out, it's every week. Eva, please, tell us who you're playing today.
Oh, well, if you're going to say please...
Of course I'm saying please to you, I'm just not saying please to the rest of the... I'm not using that word in public.
Hi, I'm Eva. I will be playing Linnea, the younger, today, who may eventually grow into her private investigator boots, or she could die. One of the two.
Tomato. Yeah. Baker, tell us about Astrid.
Hi, my name's Baker. I play Astrid, a sometimes smart, sometimes incredibly stupid, impulsive, and, well, drunk sorority girl who clearly has very low grasps on life and also a massive crush on Linnea.
Minor details.
Just minor details.
Look, Fredrik's allowing it while you're on this island. Speaking of, Fredrik, I love the passive-aggressive all caps.
What? What are you talking about? Yes, I'm Wilde. I'm Junior on Twitch and Twitter. I use he, they pronouns. I am playing Fredrik, the servant to Linnea. And yes, I disapprove of everyone but Linnea and occasionally Linnea.
Thank you. Mikyl.
Hi, I'm Mikyl. I'll be playing Komrik. Both pronouns, he, him. And do you want me to get started in the recap or?
Sure. I mean, everybody knows I'm Anniek and I play everybody else.
All right. Well, when we last met our heroes, after investigations at the Kaiserling Estates, Komrik promptly parted ways with his society party members. Fredrik and Linnea took a much-needed spa day at the local bathhouse. In the meantime, Astrid did some shopping for provisions, while Astrid selflessly committed a B&E to leave provisions for Fredrik and Komrik. She did the most typical of Astrid things to do. Snooped around through all of our stuff. Astrid found a dank-smelling parcel and a letter left under Komrik's pillow. Instead of waiting for the party, or really anyone, Astrid used her supernatural powers of magic to scry on the parcel. She was transported deep under the sea, where she came in contact with multiple mermaids. When these mermaids abandoned her, she slowly started to lose her breath and black out. Before an encounter with another one, more scary mermaid snapped her out of the vision. After vomiting up liters of seawater and possibly a small crustacean, Astrid pilfered the pesky plot point puzzle of a parcel and explained to the newly clean Linnea and Fredrik that gnarly sea smell did not originate from her. The group, apparently not worried about time, slept the night, and Astrid met some new four-legged friends in the barn. The next day, they left a note for Komrik at the inn and headed back to the Kaiserling estates. Fredrik, Linnea, and Astrid gathered more information as they spoke to the help of the estates. Forming what seemed to be a plan, the group decided to visit Lalo for more answers. Meanwhile, Komrik tried to find answers for himself. Komrik sketched some ideas of what the young Kaiserling would look like, along with the footprint that he found in Rollo's journal. Knowing the party can be quite reckless, he decided to run an observation on the sanitarium himself. As he walked down the streets, he realized he needed some provisions and stopped at the general store for some food and sweets, of course. Komrik cased the sanitarium and then contacted a couple nurses while they were on their smoke break. He successfully manipulated him into allowing Komrik to check on Rollo, his quote-unquote uncle. Komrik was able to leave a note under Rollo's pillow and copy down some notes from the doctor about Rollo's recovery. After the nurse walked him out, he had some small talk about the church's view about medical care. Komrik made some notes about the map and mapped the sanitarium in Rollo's journal. As he walked through the streets again, he came across a small bathhouse in an alleyway. He stopped in to clean up a bit, only to arrive later at the Drunken Sailor. His room smells terrible, and he reads a note from Linnea as he drifts off to sleep. Just a nap, I swear.
Definitely just a nap. Roughly 8 hours of a nap. And if I let me just scroll up through everything we ran to in our chats. Like the main bit of the note was Linnea, and then the first postscript was Fredrik, telling you not to wave your gun at any of the stable boys. And then the second postscript was, don't open the package I placed in your bag, don't touch it until we talk Astrid. It was a layered note.
And meet a drinking buddy?
They're going to see their drinking buddy, yep.
I started running my mind through who that could be. Of course he knows. Of course you know.
I mean, like, as you're drifting to sleep, you're pretty sure you know, but then, some of those sailors were quite handsome, and you saw Linnea making eyes at lots of them. Yeah, maybe. No, they've definitely gone to we'll start back with Komrik, who wakes up pretty late in the morning. There's still kind of a briny smelling, but it's not terrible.
I think with the note and what it said, he's going to get on his way trying to find this stable, asking around for a stable and possibly go there straight away to find his way.
So you're assuming they would have stayed pretty local. There is a stable that is next to the post office down the street, which seems the logical conclusion. And indeed, once you get there, you do find a horse has already been paid for you. There's a little side-eyeing and a little whispering about, the description that was given of you and if you're really him. But as soon as you start talking, they're like, oh, yeah, that's the accent. Here you go, sir.
Oh, thank you. Thank you very much.
It's less of a horse and more of an accidentally tall pony. It is shaggy as fuck. It's probably not incredibly fast, but it has endurance. Like, if you keep it at a steady trot, it will keep going.
Okay. I think I could do this.
You look moderately silly sitting on it, but it's good. It's a good way of traveling.
Being a cavalryman, he just jumps upon.
Yeah, it's not one of those fancy war horses with like fine bone structure or anything. It's a really shaggy pony who tries to bite you when you get on, because let's be honest, we all know ponies are concentrated evil. Like, the smaller the pony, the meaner.
Oh, whoa!
Sorry, my inner horse girl is coming out. The smaller the pony, the meaner. Like, this is Anniek's personal trauma coming up here.
Oddly specific, yeah.
Freaking Shetland ponies, man. They belong in
you
every
take care of
horror
me,
story.
and I'll take care of you. Yeah. And
They start
so
snapping at your bag where you're keeping the sweets.
Yeah, I actually give him a treat. Why not? And then I will take out my compass, and I know that it was north, correct?
Northeast-ish.
So I'll start going in that direction, because I haven't quite been there before, and I didn't find a map, right? I couldn't afford it.
No, you couldn't afford it. That was the main problem. It was very funny to me because Mikyl and I were like talking through what Komrik's night was, and he made the same sort of thinking misstep that Astrid, going, I want meat, like you're on an island in the ocean.
Yeah.
You cannot afford meat. You can have caviar.
It's so funny because we had that conversation via text about what Komrik was doing. I hadn't watched the episode, and then I watched the episode. I'm like, it's all the same shit. All right.
Yep. There was so you had a lot of the same ideas at different times. Just one beautiful blend of apple juice in here. Moving back to the other party, very briefly, before you all meet up. What are you up to? Other than making big eyes at each other.
Astrid is either being really quiet at times. She's alternating between being really, really quiet and really, really chatty. Because she is... Sorry, I apparently forgot to save my character sheet last time.
It's happened.
No, it was hopeless and frightened.
Yes.
Okay. She is trying to avoid thinking about any of her problems.
Mm-hmm. Speaking of your problems and how they connect to, speaking of your character sheet, little box marked Dark Secret.
I don't have a box that says Dark Secret. There is a box that says Dark Secret, and it says Changeling in it.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. And
Yeah.
You don't have to say it out loud, but also the one that says, the trauma thing.
Yes.
How are you dealing with that part right now? Is that why you're babbling / being entirely silent?
Yes. She is trying to process how close that is touching her life right now, and she is very I'm not gonna say unstable, because she's not completely unstable right now, but yet. But she's getting there.
I tell that something is off with Astrid.
You actually already rolled for this last time, and both you and Linnea can tell that there's something, like...
I thought it was Komrik and Linnea that rolled last time.
Okay, oh yeah, because it was just outside of the von Kaarseling residence, and that's when Komrik slipped off.
Yeah.
Fredrik can roll to see if you can tell something's wrong with her. Linnea already knows. Like, straight up observation.
And are we in the carriage at this point? Is that where we left off? Heading north?
Yeah, you were heading out of town.
Yeah, okay.
In the process of.
Why do my dice hate me?
The dice want you to be the group dad. Blissful ignorance. No sixes?
Hey, you're emotionally distant. Like, no, I'm gonna shut up.
I mean, you can definitely tell she's more annoying than usual, which is saying a lot. But that might have to do with the fact that she drowned in her room last night. Actually, technically, she drowned in your room last night.
First, I wanted to say, honestly, mood. And second of all, noted.
But yeah, drowning in a magical vision, then coming back to life while vomiting seawater and crustaceans, and potentially being cursed could definitely explain her current everything. She does still smell a little briny, despite all the washing. It's like, after she washes, it's gone, but it sort of seems to be like seeping out of her pores almost like her sweat is almost seawater.
I reach into my pocket and hand Astrid a small baggie of potpourri, and it's like, here, just a token of appreciation.
I still smell.
I don't know what you're talking about. Take the bag.
Okay. She takes it. She kind of like ties a little loop around it. By the way, I'm gonna say, Astrid, the rope that she went and got to hang her dress on, she brought with.
All right, the party now owns a rope. I'm very proud of all of you.
Do you also have a 10-foot pole just in case, or
no?
I'm just picturing Astrid with like one of those little car fresheners and like a pine-shaped tree around her neck.
Essentially, like, no, she like tied it, and then I think she tied it off around one of her buttons.
Okay. Yep. All right. You're wearing potpourri.
Mm-hmm.
I finally figured out what's wrong with my playlist. Yeah, and if I remember correctly, you were heading straight towards where you think Lilo's inn is.
I thought we asked directions.
Yeah.
And we
gave
map, right?
It's like, it's not much better than the map I'm showing you right now. Like, there's no nicely drawn roads with numbered intersections that you're used to currently. There's a lot of here-ish. If you want like a proper map, none of you can afford one right now.
I mean, if we didn't know exactly where it was, I would have stopped. I would have gone back to the post office, and no, I wouldn't have. But
you get directions in the sense of follow this road for so long. When you get to a T intersection, take this branch. I'm hoping one of you either wrote it down or has a really good memory. It is the road most traveled in this case. So it's not like
That's
the middle of nowhere.
really good because
guys.
I don't remember that conversation at all.
I don't
That's
remember
fair.
that
I
conversation.
actually think we had a
either.
conversation when Lilo was still on Vaesen.
Oh, 40 episodes ago? Okay.
Something like that. Yeah. I think your main conversation about where Kaali Village is was with Lilo herself.
Happened last year, right?
Also,
Everything takes forever with you people. I don't know how long it was. at least 5 episodes.
Because there were
Also-
like 6 conversations where she was like, great parties, only if you know people, and like was
Only if
being
you're
cagey.
invited. It's like,
Only if you're invited, and was being cagey as hell about it.
yes. Which is funny because she had so much other stuff to tell you that nobody cared about.
It's not that we didn't care, it's just we're disasters.
You were just so mesmerized by her personality.
Could I roll perhaps to see if Linnea remembers, even though Eva has...
Please, yes.
Oh, bless.
Make it learning.
Learning is... That's 1.
Look,
I can't even remember...
I'm being helpful. You're in the carriage with Fredrik and Astrid. You can try and crowdsource this and have them help you for 2 + 1s.
Oh, bless. Okay, so...
See, I'm helping. I'm helpful.
Like, we pull out, like, the sketch and, like... Try and, like... Okay, was it this way or that way? And
Or
we
something
have...
about a rock shaped as a penis.
Would Lilo have not, like,
3 successes.
written down?
No. Lilo thought she still had time to write it down, but she didn't.
Oh, no. 3 successes.
3 6s. I'll say that with minimum stops to think and consider the shape of landmarks, you can find the way towards Kaali Village.
Right, like we stop at a crossroads and we're like, okay, does that look like a penis or a lighthouse?
Exactly.
Language.
To be fair, that's how Lilo described it.
Yeah, but Linnea's speaking.
Yeah. Linnea would probably catch herself.
So I'm assuming I know some of you asked around a little bit. The whole of Kaali is a group of 9 creators. I'm just gonna rehash some of the things I told you. And Kaali Village is sort of inside this grouping of those 9 creators. And I think one of you got the dissertation from Hugo.
Komrik did.
I stole it from Komrik. So that's the other thing Astrid is doing, is she is reading the entire dissertation and like writing in the she is not being respectful of
you're
this
taking
book.
notes in the margin, like in crappy handwriting, because you're bouncing around in a carriage, whatever.
So
And,
I'd like for you to actually have it. However, he would have kept that in his backpack along with Rollo's journal.
Oh, we went
would have
through
been
your...
on him.
I
It would have been
went
on
through
him the whole
stuff.
time.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, sorry, kiddo.
Retcon.
Then can we
Yeah.
retcon that I took one from the house?
Oh yeah, no, he's handing him out like candy. He's so proud of it.
Okay, when we stopped at the house and saw the things, if I didn't have it, I would have taken one from the house. And if there's like a blank page in the front of it, like some of the books used to have, like a
There's a
tester thing,
dedication. of
I
course,
ripped
has,
that
like, a symbol.
out, and I'm using that to bookmark certain sections.
Wait, I have to know what the dedication says. Or to whom it is dedicated.
Actually-
It is dedicated to Agnes and Edward.
Oh.
And not any of the people in Kaali Village.
Naturally.
No, they are mentioned towards the back as people he interviewed, but it's not dedicated to them. And there's a little footnote thanking a number of European universities for helping fund his research as well.
Oh,
Like, he got a few grants.
No.
he did everything so wrong.
I know, right? But yeah, the first part's about the villages as written by Hugo. It's not so much about Kaali Village as it is about the creators. There's a lot of local legends about how the creators came to be, as we mentioned earlier. Lots of was it a meteor strike? Is it volcanic? Is it man-made? Did they do ritual sacrifices there, etc. And there's a single road leading up to it. So as long as you keep picking the right ones at like intersections and stuff, you can't really miss Kaali Village. It is, as you're driving there, considering you probably have like the window curtains open. As you start getting more north, there's cattle grazing. It's very quaint, adorable. There's in the distance, the people actually looking out can already see the smoke rising from like the smithy, judging by the color of the smoke being a little darker than most chimneys would produce. And while you're looking out of the window and taking notes and talking about anything, you feel a lurch in the carriage as one of the wheels hits a rather large rock, and it teeters and it teeters, and you can feel yourself going off the road and just flips over completely. And I need an agility test from everyone in the carriage.
Are the ponies okay?
You don't know. You're currently upside down in the carriage. At least you're sitting, but you're sitting on the roof.
Because this is an agility test and not a mental test, I still take 2 off for my current mental conditions, right?
No, I think you only take those off for mental tests.
Mental. Okay.
No successes for me. Physique is my worst quality.
1
success.
success.
Fredrik?
What am I rolling?
Agility. There's a lot of cats currently being dealt with. No successes either? Too burly to be agile? So Astrid's okay. Linnea and Fredrik, describe to me how this carriage accident leads to the physical condition of your choice.
I think Linnea is gonna get just generally kind of tossed around, but as the carriage lands and some of the wood siding breaks, like cracks in, she's going to kind of gash her arm on one of the like pointy bits of wood.
Basically, you're accidentally staked.
Yes.
But in the arm and not the heart.
Right, and so there's still no proof whether or not she's a vampire, but
One day.
so she's going to be wounded.
Okay.
If that's all right.
In attempting to protect Linnea, Fredrik accidentally falls out the window.
I mean, that tracks. Which condition are you taking?
How about battered?
That works for me. Fredrik, as you're falling out the window, you see the carriage driver. Check. I will roll now.
He pinned underneath it.
Who is ridiculously fine because the guy got a fuck ton of 6s.
Yeah.
You do see one of the horses limping slightly, and one of the wheels is just busted.
Is the horse leg broken?
I don't know. Are you gonna check out the horse?
Yes.
The horse itself doesn't seem like physically injured, but one of the shoes has almost come off, so it has that thing where like the big pins are still kind of connected, but not really. At this point, you should probably rip off the shoe and get the horse reshoed, because it cannot properly walk as is.
Astrid's gonna ask the driver to help her, since he's also fine.
He's fine. Unshoeing a horse with your bare hands is very difficult, however.
They should
If half of the spikes are still in.
probably have some sort of like horse kit, especially for trips like this, though, on the carriage, right?
Yeah, the driver can like grab one of the pliers. He can at least remove the shoe. Reshoeing in the middle of the road is not, but he can pry off what is left of the shoe.
Okay. Well, he does that. Astrid's gonna go check on Linnea and Fredrik. Linnea first, and then Fredrik, because Fredrik would want it that way anyway.
Sure.
That's the only reason. No other motives.
The only reason. Linnea, you're still in the carriage, which is mostly upside down.
Is it gonna catch on fire?
Yes, and then explode, because this is now an action movie.
Michael Bay, eat your heart out.
I know.
As Astrid leans like into the window to check how you wear, there's like this disturbing amount of lens flare suddenly happening.
So Linnea is probably still sitting, I guess, on the side, which is now the bottom of the carriage. Probably trying to like bind up her arm with like, if she's got some sort of loose, not loose clothing, but like, you know, just a scarf, or not actual bandages, but like, just try and stop the bleeding before she tries to like climb out the other side of the carriage, which is now the top. Or is it completely upside down? I'm not sure. Before she tries
it was completely upside down, or at least it still is. Like, you'll have to like write it if you want to use it again. So exiting is probably just going through the broken window that Fredrik helpfully demolished for you.
Yeah.
With his body.
Perfect. She'd still try and like bind it before she exits the
You use a nice monogrammed handkerchief.
Astrid asks her if she has the alcohol, if she still has alcohol on her, and what proof it is.
You know, I don't actually know what's
All right.
in it.
Well, any form of alcohol is better than none. Pour alcohol over that before, because I imagine the wood that just went into your arm was not that clean.
We know this back in this day.
They didn't know necessarily about germs. They just knew having dirt and stuff in wounds could cause them to become
and that alcohol was a sanitizer or a
They were very fond of pouring vodka over open wounds, but then again, they also poured vodka over your leg if they were amputating it because it looked a little weird.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So
So we wouldn't know why. We'd just do it,
which I'm fine with. And so I will do that, and then bind it up if possible.
Fredrik will come over to you and use the simple bandages he keeps on him at all times because you're accident prone. Do you have?
That's one word.
Yes, please.
Do you want to roll medicine for that?
Sure. This can't go wrong at all.
Nope. Definitely not.
Does it help that Astrid and I are like, or at least that Astrid's sort of assisting?
You can have a +1 for whoever pours the alcohol.
1/6.
1/6.
Did we take? Did
I keep my arm?
Did you stab? Did you get stabbed, or did something like go into your arm? Like, do you have splinters?
There is a fair amount of splinters. They'll have to be picked out later. Like, she's still A regular medicine check doesn't fix the condition she has, but it does avoid it getting worse
Yes.
as she carries on. So at least it is a problem, but it is stable. You do see wood splinters sticking out.
I think I'll be fine until we get to Kaali Village. Or at least whatever's over that. She's just gonna gesture in the direction of the smoke.
Remind me, which arm is broken? Or fucked up?
Okay, she's going to gesture with her, right.
So if we were sitting
because I think she's sitting on the left. Oh god, wait, I had it in my notes, I think.
No, I got in first.
Then it's gonna be her right arm.
No, wait. Did I get in first? No, you always get in first because Fredrik helps you up.
Yeah. So it is my left arm.
For tradition.
Despite all of her, like, modern ways, Linnea is sort of a creature of habit. So yeah, she would always try and get in first. She's not gonna fight anyone for it, but
I mean, it's like your spot. It's where you're supposed to sit.
yeah.
You're supposed to get in first.
So she would have stabbed her left arm. She is right-handed.
Okay. Mainly important for, if you're combat later and you need to shoot things.
Yes.
Does having actual bandages help with anything?
It would give you another. No, actually, it means you can actually roll the test, unless you're like trained in medicine.
Oh, I have one
Astrid?
in medicine.
I'd say give you another +1. Because I'm nice.
Astrid would remind him to tie it looser so that it doesn't push any of the splinters further into her arm.
And Fredrik will be like, I've been treating Miss Linnea since before she could remember. I know how to treat these wounds.
Thank you both. It's been a while since anything's kind of hurt this bad, though. If we could get somewhere not on the side of the road, that would be really nice.
Your driver has gathered up both horses and is already sort of shouting out that he's heading towards that smithy to see if he can get that horse reshoed and maybe some help getting that carriage back up.
We can just treat this as another lesson.
My dog is stealing my snacks. Boogie, boogie, boogie.
I didn't
Move.
knock the carriage over, did I?
No. But life is pain, and you are in pain.
Yeah, I remember that pretty well. Thank you.
Sometimes life needs to remind you that you are not invulnerable.
Should we just head off on foot? There's nothing we can't carry, right? Maybe.
We've already established that we can't fix the carriage, right?
Unless the smithy can help. Smith.
It's a nearby smithy, or it's the Kaali Village smithy?
Both.
Okay.
Like, the smithy is on the outskirts of the village, on the high road outside of Kaali Village.
And how far does it? Can we
Like,
tell?
Kaali Village isn't like a nicely compact little village.
Right.
It's very spread out.
So
but it's easily walkable.
I think by the time we fixed the carriage, or had it fixed, we could be wherever we were going. Yes? No? Okay. Well,
We can walk.
I would just assume.
When I say
that-
easily walkable, I mean the smithy. You have no idea how far the inn is.
Yeah.
Like, you cannot see the inn from where you are.
okay. Then we could drop the wheel off at the smithy on our way, see what they say. Either they fix it if we can't get where we're going, or we drop it off and keep going. Yes?
Sounds like a good course of action.
She's just going to stare at him in shock for a brief moment. And then dig her doctor's bag out of, oh, that would have been a really good memento. Dang it. Oh well.
Why would you be shocked? You didn't say anything outlandish.
It's
Sorry.
just the situation washing over me. She'll dig her bag out of the carriage and dust herself off, one-handed.
Any, same question for Astrid and Fredrik. Anything like glass vials or anything particularly breakable that you have with you? And asking for a friend.
Astrid's going to check on her crystal ball. I don't keep it in my bag. I keep it on my person.
Your crystal ball is... There's a little chipped out, but you're pretty sure it'll still work.
Okay.
It's like I have a hurricane lamp in my equipment, but I don't know if I'd have actually brought that with me, considering how large those actually are.
No, probably not.
Seeing Astrid check her ball, Linnea will peek in her bag at her magnifying glass and her binoculars.
I will tell you about those in a second. I'm first going to roll to see if the driver sees a crystal ball.
I wouldn't take it out. I'd just look in the pocket that it's in.
Okay. Let's see. Binoculars. Intact. Magnifying glass. Intact.
I guess Fredrik would check his pockets just to make sure he has everything, all his scraps of paper and whatnot.
Everything's still there. You do feel, as you move, you feel some of those stiff spots that are going to be massive bruises already starting to hurt more.
We call those reminders.
You do. All right. Pockets checked, bags secured. You head to the smithy. Yes.
Yes.
Very briefly aside, Komrik, I'm assuming you and your shaggy little pony are just going straight to Kaali Village.
Yeah, I'm on there just trotting away, kind of going through my belongings and looking at the parcel and put it back away.
That was my main question. Where's the parcel? In your bag?
Yes. I got all my belongings out of the room and headed out.
You're a few hours behind them, though, so it's going to take a little bit longer for you to catch up.
Mhm.
So for now, we're going to briefly switch back over to the party in the smithy. The driver actually doesn't go inside right away. He goes around the side of the building to put the horses up. So it's up to you if you want to follow him and stand around and look on awkwardly as he does his job, or if you want to go inside. It's a very nice, compact-looking building. Despite the creepy music, there's pleasant, warm light coming through the windows. There's cattle grazing around, happily ignoring the low stone walls that they've sort of set up to keep cattle out of the yard. It's not, the cows don't care.
So, going by the music, Eva really doesn't want to. But Linnea...
Oh, fine. Here, I'll fix it for you.
Linnea will go in...
Happy music. Ish.
Okay.
It's the chill list. I'm not putting on the folk music. It's the chill list.
That's fair.
Is happy music?
Chill, not chills. Yeah, I think we're going to have to work on our definitions here at some point, but...
It's chill. Besides, you're in a very cold area. Anyway.
She'll go inside wherever it sounds like there's, someone who's not the driver. Did the driver give us at any point, an indication that they were familiar with the area of Kaali Village?
He
couldn't guide us there. We had to tell him where to go, right?
No, you got someone who doesn't usually drive this route. He looks a little grumpy that...
Then I'll go inside.
He's a little grumpy that he's out here. He usually rides out more towards the west. I'm so good with cardinal directions.
You're the best.
I just started looking at my map as in left and right. Anyway, easy enough to find the entrance to the smithy. There is the sound of someone hammering metal, which is not a strange sound to come from someone who works with metal for a living. It is very warm inside, logically, because, again, smithy. And you see a rather tall, broad-shouldered man with blonde hair, very wavy, kind of surfer boy, curls on his shoulders where it hits. He is in fact at work. You see his hands are he has a lot of scars from not being careful enough around incredibly hot iron. He has his back to you and he is working at the forge.
Excuse me.
He turns around and goes, "Welcome, guests. Wonderful. How can I help?"
I wasn't really expecting this reaction. Our carriage...
As he turns around, by the way, you can tell he has a really large scar across his cheek.
Okay.
Just
That's
something
fine.
you notice as he turns around. There is a picture of him in the Discord.
Solid. Very good description.
Definitely solid. Fredrik, this dude's built. He's taller than you are.
Okay, we don't have to fight everyone.
Did you say this out loud?
No. Our carriage just flipped down the road, and our driver has brought the horses in. I think one of them has a shoe that needs to be reshod.
Oh, dreadful. Is anyone hurt? Can I help? You need to sit down. Do you need some milk? I have lots of milk. It's not medicinal, but it can help soothe you.
Did anyone follow me in?
Yes.
Okay. Fredrik? Are you Astrid?
he's already started to like dust off. Like everything here is. He's mid several projects, so he's like getting pliers off of barrels and like putting a little pillow on it to make it pretend chair.
Oh, he's me. Okay.
Yeah. he's just moving tools that should have a set location and sort of going putting down milk jug. Milk, yes? Puttering around.
Thank you. Sure. We also
I will go help with your carriage? Vehicle.
carriage. Could you tell us how far the inn is? We have we're supposed to meet Lalo. I'm sure you know.
Toliak Inn! Yes, Lalo, wonderful lady. Very pretty. Quite a bit up ahead near one of the craters.
Quite a bit.
I fix your carriage. You ride. It'll be fine. And he bustles out the door, whistles outside, politely nods to Fredrik and Astrid.
And I'll like either hand him we brought the wheel, right? So either it's outside leaning against the thing, or I'll indicate where it is. Honestly, I think I would have had Fredrik carry it because
I was about to say, I need a strength check if you're carrying a wheel.
Yeah, no, Linnea would not have. Let's be real, like even without the injury, Linnea would not have.
No. Roll. All of you roll vigilance.
Logic.
Okay, this one I do get the -2
Yes.
on there. And to understand, is that -2 like to my dice rolls or just -2 dice?
I'm pretty sure it's -2 dice.
That's
Wilde
what
can
I-
correct me. He played this game more than I have, but I'm pretty sure you just lose 2 dice.
Or you lose a dice for each condition.
Yeah, she has 2 conditions. So it's a good thing you healed up a little, because if Linnea had flipped that card without the spa day, it might not have gone very well.
Wait, so okay, quick mechanics question.
Please.
So if I have 3 mental conditions and add a
Yep.
physical condition, does that break me? Or do I need to have
No.
4?
No, it's 4 of either.
Okay.
Like 4 mental or 4 physical.
I'd have been fine.
Sure.
I had 1 success and a
Okay.
disconcerting amount of 3s.
No successes.
Okay.
You only get to roll 1 dice right now.
Oh
Yep.
no. 1 in 6
so
chance.
Linnea, as you're the one who's doing like the main interaction with this smith, who's no one has asked his name or has been introduced, this why bother? You watch. You're looking behind. You see Fredrik still holding the wheel, and you sort of go towards this front door to like. We also have a wheel here, and as you do this, he is already at the carriage, and you watch him put one hand under it, put his shoulder up to it, and just flip it upright, pick it up by the front bit with one hand, and pull it over to the smithy without breaking a sweat. Still whistling a merry tune. You're not staring in either way, is what you're saying.
Staring respectfully.
Just staring respectfully.
Oh, being unmuted in Slavs probably would have helped. Yes, staring respectfully before kind of catching herself and looking away. At
Sorry, Fredrik had no successes. He doesn't catch you staring.
yes. In which case she's not going to mention it because she's learning. This is a
So
character
much
growth
character
moment.
growth in only 9 episodes.
Yeah. Had to happen sometime.
Yes. He parks the carriage like in front of his smithy, comes back inside. The driver has also come inside at this point and is handing him the horseshoe. He has also directed the driver to the sitting area, which is
Linnea will
the least dirty corner of the smithy. And just gets to work. Linnea wouldn't notice this because, again, Linnea and the working class don't usually mix. I think Astrid and Fredrik might be impressed by how he fixes the horseshoe with like a few strikes at the anvil and just goes back out to reshoot this horse very smoothly.
Absolutely.
Does he at least put it in the fire? Or does he... Okay.
But not as long as you'd expect him to. He's not even showing off for the women. This is just matter of fact.
Honestly, that just makes him a bad blacksmith.
I mean, if you have the strength to shape the cooler metal.
Oh, because that just makes weak points and stress points.
He only needs to get the nails out before it goes back on the horse.
That's true. If it doesn't need to be reshaped, the shoe is fine.
She was fine. It just partly came off the hook.
Hashtag educational.
There we go.
Shoes.
Stream with horse girls. Anyway, Astrid, Fredrik, Linnea, and your driver, you're in this lovely, what are you doing while the as of yet unnamed Smith is fixing your horse?
I'd probably step outside to smoke.
Astrid is probably sitting somewhere reading more of that book.
Okay.
And also, while she's doing this, in like the very front cover, she's keeping a tally of everything, every like story and little bit of information and anything she thought the people of Kaali possibly could have given him. And if the Smith is doing anything that couldn't possibly like interrupt him, she would walk up to him and go, I was wondering if I could ask you about a person who's may have been in the village and what your perception of him would have been.
I mean, you can talk to him while he's like messing around with the wheel. The horse is fine.
Okay.
He just needs to fix the wheel now, which is a little more work.
She would be trying to like stay out of his way while she did it, but she would hold up the book and go, I'm currently reading this book by this
Yes.
He
was very proud when it was done. I met him on several occasions, you know.
He seems to have gotten a lot of stories that I assume came from this village because he talks a lot about this area. And
oh, yes. I mean, he might be all about the worldly ambitions, but he really can't sing or play. Like, his rendition of the old songs bring tears to the eyes of even the toughest trolls.
Yes, and I heard that he was given an instrument.
That sounds unlikely, but I don't know, maybe someone struck a bargain.
Well, that's what I'm wondering. He seems to be under the illusion that it was given to him.
Again, unlikely. We don't usually give, we barter.
That's what I'm assuming. I think he got something terribly wrong, and I'm just trying to. It interests me. She kind of looks around to see if anyone else is around.
I think Linnea still is. Fredrik is outside smoking. the driver has wandered off a little bit. Like on the other end of the smithy, there's a lot of shelves with like carved figurines and bowls and candlestick. They're like made from rock. And he's picking up some of the figurines and sort of messing with them. He clearly never learned you're not supposed to touch.
Okay. If it's just Linnea, she would kind of like lower her voice and go, my parents made a similar bargain at one point.
You're a changeling!
Yes.
Me too!
Oh!
Yeah, it did not go well. Hence the scar. But
Yeah.
yeah.
My parents made a similar bargain, and I think something similar might have happened to Count
Hugo.
Yes, and I think it's gone awry, and I would like to help.
I mean, tricky. My parents got me back by hurting me. That's not, not
And
not
she
the nice way.
She shoots like a look at Linnea. I am not informing anyone that is an option.
Oh, I mean, it's fair. It's a really bad option. You should never do it. It's just what my parents did because they're not good people.
You shouldn't. Only the worst or the most evil people would do that.
I mean, meant to do it instead of doing it, or he has to keep up with his end of the bargain. But if you don't know what the bargain is, I don't know, maybe ask Lilo?
Well, so I was wondering.
He should be at the Tilyak Inn. It's the windmill near the crater?
Yes, but I was wondering, and she describes the blonde man that she saw in her vision, or the blonde troll that she saw in her vision, and asked, does anyone around here fit that description?
I mean, besides me? Lilo, when she doesn't dye her hair. Oh god, you thought she was an actual redhead? No. Don't be ridiculous.
Okay. Did he look a lot like the man I saw in my vision?
He does, actually.
Huh.
Yeah, he does have a point, though. If you picture Lilo as a blonde, also not far off.
Okay. She leans forward and she goes, you're a changeling. You understand that we are gifted visions.
Oh, I'm not. I'm my gifts in crafting. My knives don't break, which is actually kind of annoying because then people don't come back for more knives because they just buy a few and they last forever.
Yeah, I got visions, and they can. And she's still trying to like make sure that no one else is around besides Linnea.
Fair enough. The smith is trying, but not very good at it.
There is a church in town. You might have heard of them.
No.
There is a Roman Catholic priest, and she described what the priest looks like.
Okay. Not that he can come inside. I don't have to deal with him. Priests can't enter troll dwellings. Unless you put your clothes on backwards and talk backwards and walk backwards, but most of them don't bother.
He was able to get into a dwelling that with a cross that had a troll in it.
Yes, but not every dwelling with a troll in it is a troll dwelling. Your parents need to teach you better.
Let's just say my parents were my parents.
So
But
this maybe, yes. Tilyak Inn, yes. if I go outside now and I go into someone else's house, their house isn't suddenly my house. It doesn't suddenly become a troll dwelling.
A baby troll was living there, calling it home.
Oh god, no, changelings, like, unless you're, like, old enough, it doesn't count.
Okay.
Still not his dwelling, but, like, his parents' house would be his dwelling. His real parents' house, not his...
Yes.
Swapperoo parents.
I had
Sure, you don't want more milk? I can warm it up for you.
I'm positive. I know that the future is ever changing. I know my gifts are not set in stone, but I saw 2 visions of a future, and one of them involved the burning of this village. I want to warn you that this priest might come. He might do harm to your village and your people.
Figures. Well, I'll keep an eye out if he hasn't already snuck by me. And, I'll fix your wheel and you can go see Lila, because I think, like, she's the one who mainly dealt with Hugo while he was here, because he performed at the inn and he stayed at the inn.
Okay. And you seem like a good troll, so I wanted to give you a warning.
Thank you.
And she, like, then goes, I'm gonna go read. And she's, like, shaking a little bit, and she just, like, goes and sits down out, like, she heads outside and finds, like, the nearest tree or stone, and she just reopens the book and starts studying it.
Okay. Indrek, because that's his name, happily, as you turn around, he just sort of goes, you know, it's a good thing you're not planning on telling them. Anyone touches a hair on a kid's head, and I'll kill them. And then he just merrily goes on his way and fixes the wheel.
Astrid would have turned around at that point and goes, and I would gladly help you.
Wonderful. Before we go to break, Komrik, you and your shaggy little pony, hardy shaggy little pony, remind me, I know you were previously used to horses. You haven't really kept it up, if I remember. The horseback riding thing?
Not since being on sea, but, you know, being an infantryman and an officer, that's what we rode.
Fair enough. So I'm assuming you still have the skill. I'm not convinced you still have
The pony riding skills?
Well, the thing is, I don't know if there's a proper English word for it. In Dutch, we call it zitvlees, which is what happens to your butt if you sit on a horse for really long and it gets used to it. And then you don't ride for a while, and then you get back on the horse. And you're like, this is fine, I can still do this. And after half an hour, you're like, oh my god, I did not know my ass could hurt this much.
Saddle butt. All
Saddle
right.
butt, there you go.
I don't know. Just made that
No, zitvlees is literally sitting flesh, which is a really, I mean, if it's a horror game, translation-wise, it's literally sitting flesh. But I'm leaning towards that I need you to make a force roll to see how well you're doing on this longish pony ride. It has a nice even gait, so it's not terribly uncomfortable. But after the first hour, like when you try to shift in the saddle, there's a lot of protesting muscles and a moderately bruised feeling.
It's
All right.
saddle soreness in English.
But that's
There
what
you
happens when you don't have it. What we call zitvlees is what you have when you
When
can
it's
go for
already-
really long before it hurts.
Well, I got 2 6s.
Okay. You shift a little, and it's a little sore, and it's a little annoying because it never used to be sore. And the fact that it's a little sore sort of hurts your pride a little bit as well. But not bad enough that you can't continue on your little horse. I don't know if you asked, by the way, but your horse's name is Indrek.
Indrek?
Indrek, and every time your attention slips a little bit and he feels the slightest bit of slack on the reins, he tries to turn around in that way ponies do and either go for your toes or for the saddlebag or your bag that has sweets in it.
Oh, Indrek, stop.
He's
nope.
a snapper.
Hey. He's actually gonna, at one point, step off, stop, and kind of look around, giving Indrek another treat, and make sure he's following. He's gonna look for tracks, because I imagine that a carriage would have.
Oh yeah, no, there's lots of carriage tracks, but they're going pretty much everywhere. It's the main problem.
Okay.
You're looking for tracks on a high road. So there's lots of tracks, and if they didn't mark their wheel with a notch to say, "Hey, this particular carriage trail is ours."
Right. Just trying to make sure he's going in the right direction. He just follows the most worn path.
That works.
Hops back on.
Fair enough. Again, moderately briny smell from your bag as well. Nothing entirely overpowering. Doing time math in my head, but since the other group slept as well, I think you're coming up to the smithy just after Astrid has stormed out to read outside. So you see a carriage parked in front of the smithy, lacking a wheel. And you see Fredrik having a smoke break, and Astrid.
So they would see on horseback, well, ponyback, a very clean Komrik, clean shaven, trimmed hair. He's washed his clothes, so the red in his shirt stands out a little bit more, and he's got his duster kind of rolled underneath his butt since it's so uncomfortable.
Here
Come
comes
trotting up.
the stranger.
A little bit more presentable. And he waves at Fredrik. Fredrik, hey there.
Do I know you, sir?
It's me, Komrik. He gets off the horse. It's me. I just I didn't think I'd catch up to you so soon. What happened?
I just look you up and down and be like, oh, so you finally bathed.
Well, I figured I'd look presentable along with you and Miss Linnea. If we're gonna start doing things together, I should probably look the part. So I figured I'd clean myself up a bit. I don't know.
Well, the effort is appreciated.
Well, thank you. All right. Are you doing okay? Like, it doesn't seem like, were you in this carriage?
I'll be fine.
Okay. Astrid? Definitely got some questions for you about this. And he pulls out the parcel.
Yes, we should talk about that.
Yeah. It doesn't smell great. It's like that. It's like that time that you take a shower after you've been out in the wilderness for way too long, and then all of a sudden your sense of smell is very in tune.
I will point out that as you're getting there and you pull out the parcel, Astrid smells of potpourri and brine. So maybe also not the best combination.
Look, I bathed. Yes, We need to have a conversation. Why don't we go this way?
This isn't a conversation for everyone?
This is a conversation for you and me, and no one else needs to overhear it, so they have this information. And you can decide whether or not you want to have this conversation with them.
Okay. This is what we call character growth.
This is what we call uncomfortable.
All right, so he'll follow Astrid.
I don't know what happened to you, but given what we saw on the boat, given that you were being followed by something or someone, combined with the information that I got, I went to your room, and clearly you know that. I dropped off some stuff for you, but in addition, while I was in there, I could smell your package. It smelled of brine, it smelled of the sea. And I could see it sitting clearly on your bed.
Yeah, I don't know where this came from. I didn't particularly put it there. I've never seen it before. Okay.
When I picked up the package, I became concerned given what we saw on the boat. And I attempted to scry on it. And I was pulled down into the sea. And I saw a pod of mermaids. And I drowned. When I was drowning, one particular mermaid broke away and pushed me out. And when I came to, she pulls out the ring. I was wearing this ring. It has the name Isadora scribed into it, and it has a place for another name. The letter that was on that package was signed by an Isadora. That's so, and your name were the only two words I could read on it. Have you ever met a mermaid?
Look, my past is not great, and I had certain obligations that I turned my back on to people that look like me, family, and when I left and abandoned my post and my people, my friends, everybody, that all the responsibility that I've ever had, and I hopped on that boat, everything changed for me. And I'm sure that I'm paying penance for those decisions that I've made. Not that I feel great about it at all, and I regret it. However, this is the deal that I've made for myself. And we wrecked. It was gone. Everybody was gone, and I don't know if that's because of me. I just remember the crushing of bone and flesh being torn from bodies as they screamed. I don't know what it was. Something of the sea ate the people that I was on the ship with, and they left me alive. And ever since then, I have seen things much like you, and I don't understand it at all.
Well, if it's any consolation, I will say The universe often works in very weird ways, and what we consider penance is actually just the unfairness of the world. Nothing punishes us. There is nothing punishing us, even fate. We are only cogs moving through it, and I doubt people died because of your choices. I think your choices led to you being on that ship, but I'm guessing they would have wrecked either way.
Astrid,
However,
I won't lie. I don't know or understand the powers that you have within you. And this is a whole new book to me. And I'm opening it chapter by chapter, page by page. And really, I don't know what to do. And so, I take a lot of your lead and others here just because of that. And so, if you say that something's going on with this package or this, what was her name again?
Isadora.
Then, I agree with you.
I think you're
Maybe
being
we should. What's that?
No, continue.
Maybe we should open it up and see what the mystery's all about.
How far inland are we?
Well, if you look at the map, see. Oh, right, it's in kilometers. How good are your kilometers?
Pretty decent. So, Kaali.
Roughly 15 kilometers.
Okay, so roughly a little bit more than 10 miles.
Yeah, roughly.
Yeah. Marathons.
Huh. Yeah, I remember doing 15Ks. They're fun.
Yeah. So it's about...
Marathon is 42K though.
Yeah, the 15K kicked my ass. I don't need to do that much.
Yeah.
I just hate running in general. You're all nuts.
Yes.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah, anyway. So, well, then...
If you had not scryed on this thing, on this package, if you'd not used your magic, do you think that you would have been whisked away with these mermaids?
I don't think whisked away. I just worry that there is something in there. I think you're being called to the sea.
I don't doubt that.
I think we open the package in front of you, but you touch none of the contents until we see how it interacts with someone else. Let me ask you a question. Do you feel drawn at all to the ring I'm holding?
Anniek, do I feel a draw to the ring?
It's very pretty and it would look really good.
On my hand.
It would.
So
Really
I
good
assume...
on a ring finger if you're right now.
Oh. Am I being courted by a mermaid? Wait, what?
Maybe.
That's what Astrid is trying to tell you.
There's worse monsters to be courted by.
Definitely.
Ever monsters to be courted by.
Yeah. Ones that live in the breathing area. The air breathing area.
Oxygen is heavily overrated. As Astrid well knows now that she joins the ranks of people who have drowned.
Yes.
Can I hold the ring?
One second. Fredrik?
Yes.
Can you come help me with something? Komrik, I'm going to need you to sit on the ground. Put your hands in front of you and put your knees and ankles together.
Okay.
And Astrid reaches into her bag and starts pulling out the rope.
Should I be present for this?
Oh, God.
As Astrid pulls out the rope and Komrik refuses to sit down on the ground, I do want to quickly go to break. Because we're at the halfway point and it's getting very interesting. And I don't think there's going to be a very good stopping point once the two of you really get going. So let's say 15 minutes because my dinner just got delivered. And then we'll be back and we'll see what happens. I'm very excited. All right, see you in 15 minutes. Welcome back to Vaesen, where we were totally not talking about overthrowing the systemic capitalist governments of our world. Everything's fine. We're normal. Don't put us on any lists.
Too late.
Shit. I've honestly heard too late for me anyway. When we left off, things were getting, I almost said kinky, I should say interesting. As Astrid is asking Fredrik to either tie up or sit on Komrik before she gives him a wedding ring. Just a surprise.
I think Astrid has asked yet. Astrid just started pulling out rope and...
She's currently pulling a rope out of her bag and telling Komrik to sit on the ground with his knees and ankles together and his hands out in front of him.
Quickly,
which, again,
Komrik is moving up to his feet and away from everyone.
Very understandable response.
Fredrik is just standing there, arms folded. Just like the very much what the hell kind of look.
Yeah, I 100% agree with that look, Fredrik. I do not consent to being tied up and or restrained. I don't know why this is such a problem here. Like I said, I'm here to listen to advice of somebody that's been in this realm for their entire life, and I understand that. However, you've done some rash things and impulsive things even that might not have necessarily been need to be done. So,
all right. I understand that. So, Fredrik, when the next words come out of my mouth, just know Linnea likes me, and if he tries to attack me, please stop him. No, then you can't have the ring. And she puts it away.
First of all, nobody's trying to harm anyone here. And if I have to be the voice of reason, you wanted to talk about things. You're moving very quickly into action instead of talking. So what is it that you are trying to say? Because you said you had a vision, you said you drowned, but yet you're talking to me right now. I'm all a little confused as to what's going on with this package and this ring.
I think this ring might have a spell that doesn't work on me, but works on the intended wearer, you. I think the reason that mermaid pushed me out of that vision and saved me was not for any good reason. I think she was attempting to get the ring closer to you. I think if you put on this ring, you could be cursed to go to the sea. And if we let you walk there freely, if you are not tied down or restrained in some way, you might just put this ring on or take this ring and turn around and walk straight towards the sea. Now, I was pushed out of the sea. I was saved. You will not be able to breathe under the sea. You will die. You will drown. And I think as long as you are anywhere within less than a day's ride of the sea and you put this ring on, you will drown. You will die. You will go to Isadora and you will die. So the only way you are getting a hold of this ring. I also don't know if this ring has any power over you, where it might draw you to it, draw you to harm someone who keeps you from it. Magic exists, curses exist, and if this curse is intended for you, then you might do things you wouldn't normally do. So, my logic is plan for the worst, hope for the best. The worst is I hand you this ring and you try and go to the sea. You try to go to Isadora and you drowned. Because she wants you, not me. I was never the intended. And were I not close to you, I'm pretty sure she would have let me drown.
Before things get out of hand, can I just say one thing?
Absolutely. Please do.
Komrik. Anniek, I'd like to sucker punch Komrik.
You're going to have to
Roll
close
to-
some space.
He did back away,
That's fine.
so you have to move first.
Mm-hmm.
I'm tempted to just make you do...
I'm moving forward in a non-threatening way.
Uh-huh.
I mean, I'm obviously not listening to Astrid and caring about what she's saying.
Yeah, I would just grab my initiative cards. You are moving forward in a non-threatening way. Roll manipulation while Komrik rolls observation and see if Komrik can deduce what you're about to do.
This is my worst attribute. Yeah.
So with minor dice rolls, you never know.
True. A 1 and a 2.
1-6.
Frederick's just walking towards you, looking perfectly concerned for your well-being and safety. Actually, almost out of character. Like, is he starting to care for you? Is this the moment that you become French and wham! Fist to the face.
Astrid's like, why did you do that? It's only necessary if he tries to attack one of us for keeping him from the ring.
I turn to Astrid and I'm like, that's...
I do need you to roll a close combat roll to see how hard you hit him.
Sure. Is that a force or just close combat?
It's just close combat. I'm calling your fist a melee weapon because, you know, you're used to this.
Do I roll contested on that, or is it just...
No, because you failed your
my observation
test. Otherwise, I would have let you act, but on a 1 and a 2, he does sucker punch you. You do not see this coming at all.
No 6s.
No 6s?
No.
Alright, so you don't actually do proper damage, like nothing's broken, all the teeth are still intact, kind of hurt a little bit. But he doesn't, like, go knock out with one punch. It just hurts like fuck.
Just turn to Astrid and go, that wasn't for you, and I walk away.
What did you do?
What? I don't understand.
Astrid does not know that Komrik pushed down the butler.
Oh gosh, that's
the
right.
The player, Baker is very much like, he just punched you because you pushed down the butler.
Nice.
Which nice. Which I love, by the way, Fredrik. This is like,
that just made my day.
Mwah.
Great callback. Oh
yep.
Gosh. Fredrik, what in the hell?
I'm just walking away.
She's like, that had nothing to do with me. I didn't know you were beefing with Fredrik that bad.
I didn't. I got cleaned up for Fredrik. I don't understand what this is even for. At this point, I don't really care. Listen, all right, I'll allow you to open the package. I was gonna ask Fredrik to do it, but he's obviously not. Maybe Linnea should.
Astrid goes, no, Linnea's not allowed to touch the pageant. You wonder what? We're going to say that was all in character.
I was going to say, those mental conditions are catching up with you.
Right. Here's the thing is you don't look stable. You take that how you will. There might be things going on. You said that you were taken away because you used your magic.
No,
You still haven't even told me what you saw.
No, I said that I told you what I saw. Didn't I?
You said there was some mermaids. You said you drowned. You said that one brought you back. I don't know what that means.
Astrid would have described the vision in great detail. I just wasn't as... Astrid tells you everything she saw. And you've heard it, so we're gonna do the spindy wheels. And it just says Komrik is all caught up.
Harp music.
So what I'm not understanding is I don't have the powers that you do. So
yes.
And we've already established that you can see into the future, into the past. There could be different outcomes. You don't know what it is that you're seeing.
Here's my thing, Komrik. When I have a vision, I'm not there. I'm not there. I was there. I came back with bits and pieces. Their magic intertwined with mine. They have powers, clearly. How else would she have given me the ring? How else would, when I scried with my magic on this package, would I have been in the sea? I don't know if my body physically left that room. I can't tell you that. I can tell you that I knew where I was prior to that, but I don't know if my spirit left my body and I was just in the water in spirit, or if I was there, but I was there. Part of me was there. Not just me seeing it, part of me was there. This wasn't a vision of the future. This was an intermingling of magics, is my guess.
All right, open it up. I'm done talking.
Fine. And she holds out her hand for the package.
He hands it over. Read the letter first.
I can't read Estonian. I'm the only reason you can see that letter is because I figured out that it needed to have salt water on it.
Water on it?
Yes.
Unreadable.
Okay.
There don't appear to be any letters on it.
The note, I would have put the note back with it. The cardstock.
And what Astrid transcribed is indeed in Estonian.
Yes. And I don't know this language. And then she gets
Komrik doesn't either.
Then she gets an idea and she sets the letter aside and she's like, I think we need to talk to the blacksmith after this. And she opens the package. Okay. Actually, no, stop. She doesn't open the package. She has that thought and she walks up to the blacksmith. She goes, Komrik, I need to ask the blacksmith something. And she walks up to the blacksmith and she doesn't hand him the card. She takes out the paper that she transcribed it on and she writes the words that were also that she heard at the sanatorium. And she says, can you read Estonian?
Linnea's going... Go ahead.
He sort of goes, so awkward, not good with reading. I look at my hands.
That's totally understandable. If I wasn't interested in learning and my craft was purely with my hands.
Hello, sir. I'm Komrik. I'm with
New friends. Hello,
yes.
Komrik. My name's Indrek.
Nice to meet you. We're having a discussion, a rather heated debate.
Oh, you're friends with them as well?
I am. I just caught up with them right outside, and
hey, you all.
Have you ever had any problems with? I don't know.
Your friend is looking a little agitated.
She's not even looking at them. Linnea's just looking off to the north. Do you see that? That's too much smoke, right? Is that a normal amount of smoke?
Indrek will walk through the window with you and go, it most certainly is not. No.
You don't have horses, do you, Ingrid?
No. I have cows.
How long is it going to take to fix the wheel?
They're practically done.
How long would it take? Would it be faster to wait for the wheel or run for the city?
I don't know how fast you can run, but two of your friends don't look too good.
Okay. She looks at Komrik.
I have a goat.
Ask Fredrik if he can go to the city. You two are much more burly than us. I saw, and she makes sure the carriage driver isn't there, and if he is, she's going to be like,
the carriage driver's outside trying to settle down the horses because they are currently smelling the smoke that you're now also starting to pick up in your nostrils. And they're freaking out. Horses are not a fan of fires.
No. Komrik, see if you can get
The pony
Fredrik.
doesn't care, by the way. The pony's probably forged in the pits of hell and just feels at home now.
She tells Komrik, I saw the priest burning the city down in a vision. You need to get there. We don't know where he went. We don't know where he is. If too much smoke is coming up from there, he's most likely killing the people of this village and burning their homes.
Fredrik, are you?
Indrek hears
ready
you
to
say
ride?
that and grabs his hammer and starts out the door.
Do you have any other weapons before you go that we can use to help?
Just things that bludgeon and are probably too heavy for you, ma'am.
All right, I'll just use my knife.
Oh, I have a lot of knives.
I'm good with knives. Can I use one of your knives and I will return it when we're done?
Sure, just use it to stab the priest.
Astrid, do you ever realize that you cause more questions than answers?
You know, maybe
Quite
we should
And
go.
he
Let's
pulls
just go.
he pulls his saber and just rushes out the door.
She
Hops
grabs
on the-
two of the knives.
Okay. These are really good knives, by the way.
She
Well
will
crafted,
return them.
incredibly sharp. Have a little mark on them that are made by Indrek.
She will
Indrek's
return
ahead
them.
of you, by the way. He is, well, a troll, and he is fast and pretty
Right.
fucking
So
strong.
he's
He is way ahead of you at this point.
right, feet running. Okay, so pony, Komrik's on
You're on Indrek.
the pony. Yep.
It's great.
Good
I
old
didn't
Indrek.
realize how similar their names were until
You wrote them out.
Until I put them next to each other. Look, Estonian has like 14 versions of the name Hendrik, and they're
Oh,
both
gosh.
named for a Hendrik. Different Hendricks, but
Indrek, follow Indrek.
Yep.
Ha!
Pony hustles. He's actually not interested in your feet for a change. He seems. You might need to be concerned by how excited this pony seems to be cantering into danger.
Would the pony be able to carry him and Fredrik?
Oh no. Fredrik's huge. Have you seen Fredrik? Like, if you try to put Fredrik on his pony, his feet still reach the ground.
Okay.
Mainly because the back will go like this.
Can the pony carry more than one person?
No.
Okay. That's just what I wanted to know.
I'm
Astrid,
off and running.
Astrid's not going to tell the coach driver what's happening, but she's going to, like, in specifics of, like, I think the church is burning down the village. She's going to say, I think there's something wrong at the village. There's far too much smoke for it to be normal.
Great, I won't go there then.
Yes,
As he, like, herds the horses into stables so they don't kick him in the head as they try to flee.
Yes. I'm going to head there. She lets Fredrik and Linnea know, and then she just starts moving towards it. And she is not hindered by pants. By dress. She takes off her cloak and moves because she's in pants.
Also, as closer you get to the village, you don't need the cloak. It's very, very warm.
Linnea is
It's
also
like the village is on fire.
heading towards. I mean, she's not waiting around. She's going to head.
Fredrik was following Linnea, matching her pace.
Easily done, I will say. I'll take a... We're talking speed here. It's not far, though a prolonged sprint is pretty hard. Make it an agility check, please. Komrik, you don't have to. You're on a pony. Your pony... I'll roll the agility for your pony. Or your brave, fluffy war steed.
No, I need a nice tree.
Oh,
Your
fuck
pony,
yes.
your pony gets 4 6s. Like I said, forged in hell.
Nice.
Well, that's where my 6s went. I have no successes.
And you called Indrek not a war horse. I mean, come on.
I mean, I might have been wrong. Let's split the difference and settle for Hellbeast.
I love it.
Yeah, Astrid's
If you can
good.
spit fire, oh shit.
One success, but I'm matching Linnea.
In which case, you're a little slower than Astrid, who's also happily hustling along. I will say Komrik reaches the village before Astrid does, and then behind Astrid are Fredrik and Linnea. And yeah, there's a lot of things on fire. Some houses that look like regular houses that people live in. What you can
Do
still
I see?
what used to be the signage that is probably like a general store type thing or a trading post / post office, like the all-in-one, like all the amenities that a village wouldn't bother giving separate buildings.
Do I see anybody that would be, I don't know, setting these fires? Or
No,
like
you do
running
see
around
a
with
lot
torches?
of people running around trying to stop the fires. There are bucket chains to wells. You don't see anyone with torches setting fires.
Did Astrid, when she had her vision of the city burning, did she see where the priest was in her vision?
Roll me. I think this is learning. Yeah, learning.
Well, at least that isn't as bad.
Don't forget you have -2.
No, I know. That's what I'm putting together right now. 4 + 2. I still got 1 6.
Okay, so the way you're approaching this village and the layout of mainly that big trade building, and you can see a little bit in the distance, something shaped like a windmill. You're pretty much 180 degrees from where you saw the priest. Like if you're looking north at the village, in your vision, the priest was a little elevated and looking south toward town.
Astrid's going to tell Komrik when she catches up with Komrik, she's going to tell him, I saw the priest in this area, like describe what she could see in the vision. She said he was looking south from here, nearly 180 degrees.
I'll try and put 2 dots on the map so you know.
She's like, please find him. This will only get worse if we don't find him.
So you're pretty much here, where I put the bright, horrendously blue marker. And then the priest, judging from the positioning, was roughly here, where the red marker is. So either through town or around it.
Well, this is what Komrik does best. And he's gonna take off with Indrek, his hell pony,
Right.
and go towards that direction, looking for anything. He's gonna pull his pistol.
All right. Roll vigilance and take a... No, you don't take a minus. I'm going to increase the difficulty because despite the fact that it is daytime, this village is burning rapidly.
Mhm.
There is smoke. There are flying cinders. You can see a lot of silhouettes because there's a lot of people trying to save livestock and children and their houses. But telling which silhouette is your particular enemy and what is just someone panicking
Running.
and trying to get their cat out of the barn is difficult right now. The
Fog of
smoke
war, you
is making
say?
your eyes water.
Yeah. 1-6.
1-6. I mean, you make it through the village without accidentally shooting someone who isn't Father Cornelius. And it isn't until very nearly exiting the village, much closer towards one of the craters, that you see a converted windmill with a burning sign that says Tulyak Inn, already ablaze, and Father Cornelius going around with a torch, making sure all of it's properly burning.
Now, knowing shooting from horseback with a pistol is hard enough to do, he's going to dismount, aim in, and take a shot at Father Cornelius. Because shoot first and ask questions later. Absolutely. How
Roll
American am I?
ranged combat. I mean, it's very true to Komrik's character.
Ranged combat.
Well, I'll look up how many hit points Father Cornelius has. You can hear him chanting, by the way, now that you're close enough.
I can hear him chanting.
Yeah, he's praying.
Son of a
Lots of
bitch.
I shall cleanse this land in the name of Jesus Christ.
4 6s.
Okay. So you can choose 2 extra effects. You
Okay.
can increase your damage by 1. You can choose that effect twice if you want to. You can stress your enemy and also cause a mental condition. You can push the enemy into another zone. Or you can make your enemy drop a weapon or item. Normally you could also swap initiative cards, but since you snuck up on him, there's no initiative yet.
Ooh. So I got how many extra successes? Because I have this talent called Tactician,
Mhm.
where I can use any extra successes to deal an additional unusual alternate.
You needed 2 successes to hit him, so you have 2
Okay.
extra.
2 extra. So I'd like to take 2 of them extra damage, and then 1 for him to drop the torch
Okay.
at his own feet. Hopefully he's wearing like a robe or something.
Oh yeah, no, he's in a cassock.
Dick.
Which I will point out, as you aim and take fire, backlit by, honestly, what might well be a lost village. I'll leave it up to you to describe your killing shot, because he really doesn't have that many hit points.
So
3 to be exact.
3. Shit.
He's not in
So
good shape anymore.
I jump off, I spin towards him, and I take a knee, resting one elbow on the knee, and that's propping my my aiming hand as I take a shot and shoot him directly center mass, right above his heart. And I will then go in and douse the flame that he had on him.
Okay, you stamp out the torch.
Yeah. As I do so, kind of kick his body, make sure he's not going to move, and yell out for Laylo. Laylo!
You receive no reply.
Oh, son of a bitch. Yeah, all right. And he's going to grab anything with water. He's going to put his pistol away. He has a saber like next to him, and he's going to stick it through the chest of the Father Cornelius and push down as far as he can get the blade and staple him to the ground, just to make sure that if he was chanting anything to bring him back to life, it would not happen.
What's your saber made of?
Steel.
Check.
It's not silver.
I didn't say it needed to be silver. I just didn't know what it was made of.
Okay.
While you're doing this, one of the doors of the inn sort of splinters open, like outward. And as you look on, you see a number of little piglets and a goat come running out of the burning building with like that really nasty smell of burnt fur.
Oh. He's gonna kick the other side of the door, trying to make sure that he makes it as wide of a berth as possible for them to get out. And he's gonna wrap.
Where chickens follow.
He's gonna take his collar up and put it over his face, and he's gonna go in, attempting to find anyone.
Okay. Linnea, Fredrik, and Astrid. Meantime.
Astrid would have just started looking for the nearest well, and then grabbing anyone who isn't trying to like usher away kids and pets and having them help douse any buildings that aren't on fire. Not like the fire style.
Yeah. The like I said, the well is very easy to find because there are several bucket lines forming from the well in like the different directions of the village.
She would join the bucket line then.
They're clearly well past trying to hide that they're trolls, because they are just like normal human bucket lines. You're almost hand to hand. They're just throwing, and they're not spilling a drop. And so the only ones who aren't like evacuating and aren't in the bucket line, this might be the most disconcerting for Linnea and Fredrik, are doing something resembling a ritual around houses that aren't on fire yet, that causes moisture in the air to collect on the buildings to get everything that isn't burning damp. They're using their trollcraft to try and save as many buildings as they can right now.
All right. Astrid's human. She's just going to help whoever she can get out of there. So if there's like kids, she's going to pick them up and move them to safety. If they can't move fast enough.
Yeah, exactly. Troll children are incredibly quickly, but there's also some non-troll children that can use assistance.
Yeah.
Okay, Fredrik and Linnea.
How far into the village is Astrid going? Like, okay, where is the well in relation to like I assume we would hear the gunshot, pistol shot.
Yes. You would hear the pistol shot roughly as you enter the center of the village, where the largest well is located, because it also feeds one of their decorative fountains. Which is also, it kind of seems like, judging by how far these buildings have burned down, it seems to be where he started setting fires. It looks like he started with the general store.
Linnea's going to move further through town then towards the gunshot to make sure Komrik isn't the one that's down for some reason, or that That is a good gunshot and not a...
Good news for you, not good news for him. It's easy enough to see Lelo told you her inn was based in an old windmill. And you can still see the silhouette of the windmill through this, like, currently bright orange sky and black smoke. And that does seem to be the direction you heard the...
Oh, then I would make my way up there and see what I can see.
Yep. Fredrik?
I mean, aside from the fire line, do any of the buildings seem like they're in distress trying to get people out of burning buildings?
There seems to be not so much someone trapped in a building as much as their family trying to convince someone to come out, and that person going, "No, I can still save this," as he's dragging what looks to be like a grandfather clock down a set of stairs. Question is, do you save stupid people?
I'll give it an attempt, and if they resist too hard, then I'll stop.
I mean, they might be a troll, but we're talking elderly and fairly frail, so if you just sort of like pick him up, there's nothing you can do.
Yeah, sure, let's try that.
Alright. Roll a super basic force test, mainly because you're injured. And I want to know what happens with your battered condition.
That's 1, 2, 3, 4 sixes.
Easy, like one-handed, flipping him over your shoulder, casual fireman carry out of this burning building.
Yeah, I mean, this is one of those things where adrenaline pumping. Fredrik's used to just having to push through the pain.
Exactly. This is what you do. All right, let's briefly go back to Komrik, who is in what is left of the Telyak Inn. So you're covering nose and mouth, as you should. Roll me. Let me think what this would be. I think. I want you to roll an investigation check.
Investigation? All right. Oh, shit. 1-6.
1-6. It's easy enough to spot that Lalo isn't in like the common room, which is the part of the inn you just entered. The layout is normally this would be a really, really nice little inn. There's little booths. There's stairs leading up to probably the sleeping areas. There's tables along all the walls, but you don't see Lalo. You do see just signs of people having fled this inn. Mainly the musicians have left all of their instruments behind, etc. But you don't see anyone.
Is there, because Komrik would know that the, innkeeper would not stay upstairs in the room. They would be on the base floor. Can I check, is there any back rooms or anything like that?
Oh, definitely. As soon as you move past like the tap area, you can get into the kitchen, and an offshoot of the kitchen is like a pantry and what you would assume to be Lalo's living quarters.
So I try to kick open that door.
It's splinters. I will give you with that 1/6 of yours. This building is getting incredibly unstable and might come down on top of you if you take it. Like the ground floor is like up to about half a meter is stone supported, but after that it is wooden
kindling basically.
Wooden posts with straw mixed with mud. If the straw and the mud don't burn, but those wooden posts do.
He's gonna take a quick look and make sure if anybody's in that back room area before he...
You see a tall figure on the ground, unmoving.
He's gonna grab the figure and hoist fireman's carry on my back. Now this is the back room, I assume, like facing towards that there might be like a window or something.
Yes.
So what I'm gonna attempt to do is bust the window with the back of my pistol, and then force Laylo's body out first, and then I'll go after.
Give me a general force check to see how well all of this is.
Two 6s.
It helps that your pistol has like the nice, not quite a sharp edge, but at least it's better than trying to punch through a window. It shatters. You maneuver Laylo's body out of the window and follow yourself.
I'm gonna pull her safe distance from the inn and try to attempt a medicine check and try to stabilize her or wake her up in any type of way.
Okay, roll medicine.
Luckily, I'm not too bad at medicine. 2 6s. Jeez, all those dice. Two
6s.
That's it.
2 6s is enough to assess her condition. She was injured before the fire even started. She has a rather large head wound. Was probably attacked outside, made it into her inn, fell unconscious, and suffocated because of this.
He's just gonna sit back and watch the flames, holding her head, and he's gonna lay her back down, cross her arms like they would any fallen soldier. If he had any coins, he'd put them on her eyes.
Don't like metals.
What's that?
Trolls don't like metal. Don't put coins on her eyes. It's almost like you hear the voice of Astrid in the back of your head. No.
No coins. So he just poses her up, and then he's gonna walk back towards the body of Father Cornelius, making sure he's stayed put, calling over Fredrik and Astrid and Linnea.
The only one who arrives is Linnea.
Is she all right? What?
No, Miss Linnea, she's not.
What happened?
Well, it looks like she was assassinated or killed, harmed in some type of way, but come with me. And he walks over towards Father Cornelius's body, and he had done all this. So we were once again too late.
Linnea's going to mimic something she's seen some of the sailors do, and spit at the body of Father Cornelius, to be very clear. And then she'll look behind her just real quick to make sure Fredrik's not like right there. We should see if there's anyone else we can save. Or anything to save.
He's gonna retrieve his saber and try to go help out anything. And if he can throw some water, he'll throw some water.
Linnea is not going to be probably very good at throwing water, since she only has one really good arm at the moment, and also she's very not strong.
Babysit.
Yeah, she will.
There's that special age and type of child that sees trouble and wants to be a part of it.
Yeah,
I
she'll
just think it's very exciting.
wrangle children, and
You can wrangle those ones.
Yep.
I would like to move over to Astrid in a bucket line.
I went to help human children get away.
Sorry, you went to help the human children because you cannot throw water the way a troll can.
Yes, I would have realized I would have only been a hindrance.
Yeah. You're herding these children roughly towards Linnea. Because again, there's also human children that have a penchant for getting in trouble.
Yes.
So, you see Linnea, like all of you are currently just covered in soot. Everything smells like smoke and sadness. And you move to drop off two more kids with Linnea.
Because I'm also not wearing a dress, so I'm less likely to catch on fire. I've tucked in my shirt. I've made sure there's nothing billowing as I'm walking by the fires.
Yeah. It is a little strange to you that Linnea is minding the children because she was going after Komrik.
I'm assuming Komrik's good.
Komrik's good. He's I think he's helping up at that line. She'll point the general direction of wherever Komrik is. It's just a lot going on.
Astrid's gonna reach out her hand and put it on Linnea and look her in the eye and go, Are you okay? What are you not telling me?
Father Cornelius is dead.
That's not a bad thing.
But he got to lay low first.
She's injured, Or
She's gone.
Astrid, as this is sinking in, you feel something tugging at your pant leg.
and she looks down.
It is a little troll child who is reaching up to you with a bit of paper in its hands.
She takes the paper and like crouches down and smiles, eye level with the child. And asks, "Are you good?"
I'm good. I had to give this to you.
Thank you. And
And it just scampers up the wall over the roof.
She watches the child do this with like a smile on her face, but also like a very sad smile on her face, and opens up the letter.
It's a letter from Lilo.
My friends, I don't think we can speak, so I thought I owed it to you to give you some information. I wanted to tell you earlier, but I did not know who to trust, and then you did not trust each other to tell things. But anyway, I was the one who gave Hugo the kantele. The thing is, I really wanted him to record the songs and the stories of our people. I saw in him like an artist. He was beyond an ambitious scholar-type academic thingy. And it went very well. Hugo's performances at my inn, there were coming lots of visitors. But then he had finished his writing thingy, dissertation, and then he forgot, I think, that he made a promise to return the kantele. And you know what I say, if you fuck with me, I cannot has that. We have a promise, we are friends, we has to trust each other. And he just did like we never spoke about it. He was like, no, this is my kantele. But it wasn't, it's very important to us. And if he wants to like steal the songs of my people and the kantele, well, then we take his baby, his flesh and blood, because he takes something very important to us. We take something very important to him. I think is fair.
There's more to this letter, Astrid, but as you reach that part of it, you, unprompted, without going looking for this, get a vision. You see the garden of the von Kaiserling residence. You see their house. It is nighttime, and you see Lalo as she sneaks up to the nursery window. You watch as she waits in the garden, hiding behind those really tall lilac bushes, and in her arms like a little bundle of blankets. It is a little troll baby, and she is humming a nursery song to it. The moonlight comes out from behind clouds, and instead of humming, she starts singing, and the song becomes magic, and that troll baby shifts and looks like a human baby. You watch as Lalo climbs in through the open window, puts little troll baby down next to the actual Edward von Kaiserling. And she just stands there for a moment and looks at the two babies. A floorboard creaks out in the corridor, and your vision pulls back a little. You get like a split vision of the wet nurse moving towards the nursery holding a candle. And you see Lalo pulling the blanket away from the troll baby, wrapping little Edward in it, and hurrying out through the window. And your vision fades as you see the moonlight just glittering across the ocean and West Guardian Blue. And as you blink, this vision fades and you can read the rest of the letter.
And I do not even want to keep the kid, I just want the kantele. But I cannot give it back unless he returns it. And of course that must happen at the exact place where the agreement was made. At Kaali Lake, at midnight on the summer solstice. I mean, it's only fair. Oh, and say hi to Freddy for me. Hey, Freddy.
Astrid's going to finish reading the letter. Stand up very slowly and fold it. Look at Linnea. And say, we have a day for you to convince Edvard to bring back the instrument. She says the name of it. And I'm going to find out where Lilo kept the baby. And you will meet me at Lake Kaali at midnight. And if he refuses, I won't give his baby back. And if he fights you on it, he will never see his child again.
It's a nice definitive statement to actually end the episode on, because we only have 10 minutes left. And you have a lot to talk about next time. We should go back together in what's left of Kaali Village.
Yeah.
Let's go around and do call-outs, because what even is streaming TTRPGs without emotional whiplash? Let's start with Wilde.
Yeah. Hi, I'm Wilde, at Wild Engineer on Twitch and Twitter. Aside from here, you can find me on Saturdays for some Invisible Sun on Underdog's channel.
Okay.
Yeah.
Favorite part of the episode?
Aside from Gilu's statement, sucker punching Komrik.
That's fair. Speaking of, Mikyl.
Hi, I'm Michael. You can find me at Michael Sandoval on Twitter and Instagram. I do some art things. I post some things. It's just generally just me following my life, whatever. If you want to. If you don't, no big deal. I do some art things. My favorite part, killing. I feel like we took one and lost one. So it hurt, and I hurted somebody. Yay.
Let's go call it a wash. Eva.
Shit.
Hi, darling Eva.
Oh, it's me. Hi, I'm Eva. I have the dubious honor of hosting this, and no, that's not true. It's not dubious at all. I'm very honored to host games like this on my channel. It's been a lot. You were here. It's fine. In just over half an hour, we have Monster Heart starting. Horizon's Call is on hiatus between seasons. But something might be taking that spot in the meantime for a little while. Who knows? We have a two-parter Mothership, Venus Rising, run by our very own Anniek, coming up on the 21st, starting at 10 a.m. Pacific, 7 p.m. Central. Please, Anniek, if I've been doing that math wrong, please shout at me.
It is 7 p.m. Central European, not Central American.
Bless, yes. My favorite part was the bottom dropping out of my stomach when we hit that rock in the carriage, and I was like, oh no. Yeah,
Sounds like it was put there as a delay tactic.
No, not at all. I loved that.
My name is Baker. You can find me on Twitter and Instagram, where I mainly talk about food and random thoughts that come to my brain. You can find me here, and that's pretty much it. And my favorite part of the episode was Astrid attempting to explain what was going to happen to Komrik, like everything with Komrik.
While smelling of potpourri and brine.
Yes. Now she smells like campfire.
Yep. Hello, my name is Anniek. You can find me on Twitter at Anniekster, where I talk about TTRPGs and retweet cute animals and complain about politics. I also paint watercolors. I occasionally post those as well. I should post some of the ones I make. You can find me here running this, and you can find me here running Mothership. And if Eva and I ever get our organizational skills together and we get like players and type slots and shit, I'm gonna be running a bunch of horror games because, you know, it's fall. Fall is the season of horror, just like winter and spring and summer. And I have a lot of horror games that I want to try out. I don't have a problem. I can stop whenever I want. My favorite part was your faces when we got to Lalo's letter. I mean, first it was your faces when you found out Lalo was dead, and then the letter just made it worse, and that's why I'm here. And I think that covers it for me. Yes, hello, Lalo's in chat. She did have all that info the first time she was on the show. But now you know. And I think that's it. And I think I'm very excited to see where this goes next week. And if you make it in a day or not, let's see. We'll see how many babies are left at the end of this. I think that's a good line to end this on. Good night, everyone. Until next week.
We go
and
update
everything
the content
will be fine.
warnings.
Yes.
Look, the content warning is pretty comprehensive.
Bye, y'all.
Bye, guys.